Hey friends, today I want to talk about how perfectionism can lead to imposter syndrome and how to kind of stop it before you get to that phase. Okay, let's get started. Hey friend, welcome to Deep Healing for Creative Entrepreneurs. My name is Aubrey Barr and I am a subconscious release technique practitioner and photography business owner. I know you are sick of ending your day feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, and you are seeking a solution to help you feel creatively inspired and actively engaged in your business as well as personal life. In this podcast, we are going to dig into any limiting beliefs or subconscious programs that are keeping you in a space filled with anxiety and stress. This work is not a temporary solution for your life. No. This is a complete transformation. So grab your coffee or tea and let's start you on the road to healing. And let me just say, you can do this, you are worth it, and you are meant to thrive in life and business. So let's dig in. So something that always stands out with this topic is that it's not always super obvious to people that they are experiencing perfectionism. Sometimes it's kind of subtle and can definitely get magnified, but people don't always realize it. I will say that I am not what I would call naturally a perfectionist. But there are places that I see it pop up where I have to be like, okay, where's this coming from? This doesn't really match me. So there is a lot to be said about perfectionism, but I want to start by going over 5 ways that you can tell if you are striving for the perfect project or perfect outcome or whatever it may be. So the first one is going to be that you are over analyzing your work to the point of stressing you out. I believe that we can all experience this on different levels, and it might show up in certain projects a little bit more obviously. When I first started doing photography, I was doing this so much in my editing because I was doing IPS, so I was selling my work at, like a canvas that's like, 36 by 48. And my face was right up against that computer and I'm like, is this perfect? Is that look good? And you know what I lost track of? I lost track of the fact that my client was not going to stand 4 inches from that canvas in order to see the whole picture, right? You don't see people doing that. In an art gallery, people back up so they could take in the entire image. So the types of edits that I was stressing over, it was just ridiculous when you really think about it. But I was literally stressing about it. I was losing sleep over one that I'm like, I cannot fix this. It's not in my wheelhouse to fix this. And I just let it really get to me. And it was a big lesson to me to, take a step back. Analyze it from a different perspective. So that's one way. And another one is you have trouble taking breaks or walking away, even when you feel like you might be close to being done. This is a big one because if we don't walk away, then we end up in situations where our bodies are just exhausted and overwhelmed. And when you feed into that in your body, then your mind is also going to be there in the same spot. So you're really creating like this perfect storm of overwhelm, exhaustion, stress, high anxiety, like all those things that we are consciously trying to stay away from every stinking day of our lives. So I always recommend that people take a little break every, however long. A lot of times it's an hour. Just walk away, get more water. Just walk away and clear your mind. Maybe you're someone who has to go outside and put your feet in the dirt and kind of do some grounding before you come back to work. Or I like to do a meditation in the middle of my day. Yes, okay, I do. And I really like it. And sometimes I even fall asleep. And yes, I am admitting that, okay? It's not about being tired though. It's just like getting to a spot where I completely clear my mind and, take that break that I need. And then I come back like totally fresh and ready to go. So, what works for me may not be your thing, but it is a good way to just walk away and clear my head and get a fresh eye on whatever it is I'm working on. Another thing to be aware of is when you refuse to outsource certain things about your business. Some of us aren't at a stage where outsourcing is kind of doable, I guess. But others of us are really holding on for dear life for that. I do it right, and therefore I'm the one who needs to do this project. And that is really not a great place to be at. So if you can allow for someone else to come in certain aspects of your business and take over that section, then you're opening yourself up to further growth in the ways that you do cherish. So ways that you can be more creatively inspired, or ways that you can be more balanced, right? If you're not opening yourself up to that, then you're really holding yourself back in other ways. So sometimes that sneaks up on us and we don't realize it's an aspect of perfectionism, but it absolutely is. So just challenge yourself to every now and then, let's say once a quarter, just look at your workload and look at where your goals are at and say, okay, is this getting me where my goals are? And if it's taking that time away from you, then it might be a good time to kind of think of how you can outsource a few things. Okay, another thing that kind of borders on perfectionism is when you can't accept constructive criticism for your projects or your work, or you're not even open to it, like at all. This is definitely a defense mechanism, probably based in trauma and just kind of not knowing who you really are. This could lead to imposter syndrome pretty easily. Which I feel that perfectionism often does lead to imposter syndrome. And the issue that I'm really trying to get to today is, hey, let's tackle this before we get to that stage, because in that stage, people are wanting to quit and wanting to take a 6-month sabbatical and, just doing things that really aren't maybe in line with your business goals. So when you can't accept any kind of criticism, constructive criticism around your business, just say, okay, this person is trying to give me feedback. Why am I so against that feedback? And just kind of think about it and see where that leads you. If they're rude, that's 100% a different story. Right? We're never going to be accepting of people being rude to us. Please no. Okay, and then the last one I wanted to talk about is that you always find something wrong with your work, right? So this is like that feeling that it's never right. I can't ever get it right. It doesn't feel right. There's something off with it. I don't know what it is, but it's not working for me. These are all things that I hear often. And I'm sure this is ringing true for a lot of you because it is such an artist thing to feel and to experience, is that we are hesitant of our final product for whatever reason. So I encourage you, when you feel one of those thoughts or programs coming up, I encourage you to just say, you know what, thank you for your opinion, but that's not how I feel. I worked really hard on this project and I am happy with how it looks. And you do need to kind of retrain the way you think about putting yourself out there. And I'm going to do my next episode about this. This is why it's kind of coming full circle. But putting yourself out there in the world is a form of self-love and self-acceptance. And perfectionism, while there might be some good things to perfectionism, I'm definitely not saying it's all bad, but it definitely can kind of chop away at that self-confidence and at that ability to feel like you're doing something good in the world. And that's really not where we want to be at. And the last thing I just want to touch on with perfectionism is when you are striving for this perfect thing all the time, you are opening yourself up to more self-criticism, and in turn, a higher chance of getting imposter syndrome. Now, if you have ever experienced imposter syndrome, you know it comes in waves. It's not like something you get over and you're done with. But I do love to have tools that whenever it comes up for me, I can pull from those and be able to overcome it very fast. So I'm not dwelling on it very long, and it's really not affecting my workflow. These are just amazing techniques to have. So if any of this is super interesting to you and you love the kind of things that I talk about, I invite you to go to the show notes and click on the link there about my course. I'm going to be releasing it in March, and I am going to have a beta group that I am hoping and manifesting to be a group of super amazing artists that want a journey towards feeling more acceptance with where they're at, getting more balance and clarity, and not living in this overworked, overwhelmed, high stress situation that we do tend to get ourselves into. If that sounds like something that you want, I invite you to apply for it. Like I said, the link will be in the comments, and I just want you to know that I have put my heart and soul into this. It has been, I feel like, 15 years in the making. Just understanding where people are at and being able to learn and grow myself. I just want to share it with everybody. So I hope that resonates with you. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. I hope this podcast spoke to you in some way. If it did, please go ahead and leave me a review and subscribe so that I know you're enjoying what you hear. And further, if you know somebody else who owns their own creative business and struggles with anything that we spoke about, please pass this on, because it is my hope that we will be able to build a community of like-minded individuals who love on each other and appreciate the many facets that make our creative business so unique. And lastly, check out the show notes to find my free Facebook community and other useful links to work with me. All right, friends, see you soon.